All right, Propel program. Brent Fikowski here. We're talking programming for the Propel athlete, Propel competitor, June 9th to June 15th. So I'm going to talk quickly about a couple things in the Propel competitor. Talked about it last week. Obviously, talk a little bit more about it now. And then most of the time for this video, I want to talk about the Propel athlete program as it's newer, more going on there. Maybe a little some more unique stuff with Propel competitor. Really try and keep up with those handstand walks every Sunday. Got a different drill each week for the 5-week block and trying to progress them continually. So really try to focus in on that video I've made, learn from the drills. This week we're talking a little bit more about foot position in the handstand walk, and it's going to keep progressing each week. So important that you watch last week's, that you watch this week's, and that you're building slowly, and hopefully by the end of the 5 weeks you've found at least one or two cues that you've been missing. You go, oh, that really made a difference. But if I tried to throw them all at you at once, probably none of them would stick. So hopefully for 5 weeks here, we're going to get that. The other thing I wanted to mention was hold on here. I know I've talked about this before, but single arm kettlebell suitcase carries. Again, this is like, accessory stuff. This isn't always that sexy or fun, but really try and keep that body looking like it would if you didn't have a kettlebell in one hand, right? So try to resist the urge to twist and lean and that sort of stuff. Really try to make it look as straight as possible. So finding kind of basically the heaviest load you can that's going to be able to, sustain a body posture that looks pretty similar to what it would look like if you had, two kettlebells that were the same weight, or just no kettlebells at all and you were just kind of walking slowly. Sometimes what I'll do for those single arm suitcase carries is I'll do a heavy weight in one arm and a really, really lightweight in the other one. I'm talking like the smallest kettlebell in the gym. Sometimes I find just having that in my hand allows me to just be a little more symmetrical and at least activate, my shoulders and stuff, and traps a little bit better, and scaps and all that fun stuff. The last thing I wanted to briefly cover is we're going to actually, transition here into Propel Athlete, which is the barbell speed. So hopefully giving you, two different apps, one that works for iOS, Apple, another one that works for Android and iOS. But so try and get that going here. This will be the second week now for Propel Competitor using this, and Propel Athlete. We're going to kind of start changing how both of those are being used for both tracks, but for this training block, they're both going to be used the exact same way, and it's really just familiarizing yourself with that. And the intention here is to move it fast, right? So we're trying to develop a little more speed and power through the deadlift and the squat, and then obviously for the Propel Athlete, you're also going to be doing it, I believe, for the banded bench. So that's fun. I've been loving using this. I've used a different app for a while that I had to pay for, but these ones are free, which is great. And there's going to be a lot of fun applications for using these to track speed, to track a bit of progress, and it's a way to self-regulate. So sometimes saying, 80% or just having, 225 pounds for everyone or whatever. But keeping this speed on it, keeping you honest with that speed is a really good way of individualized regulation. And we're doing some more individual regulation in Propel Competitor coming up that isn't related to barbells, but it's related to cardio, which I'm excited about too. It's stuff that's worked well for me in the past. And it was always hard to, I think I've got a way here of explain. I'll talk about that another time, which is exciting, but that's in 4.5, 5 weeks from now. Propel Athlete program really tried to, I feel like this is a really exciting, I've been experimenting with a bunch of movements, a bunch of ways of doing this, and I feel like this format's going to work really well. All of the warm-up movements are pretty specific to what you're doing that day. Should be able to just get in the gym, do those, and then get going. Now the isometrics, right? You are going to see these isometrics all the time. This isn't just like the first week and then we're done with them. It's like, no, this is really, really important. And because we're going to be jumping, right? We're going to be jumping, we're going to be sprinting, we're going to be moving laterally, we're going to be doing single leg jumping, you name it. It's going to be more explosive than maybe what you're used to, and to keep you from getting injured, and to also just make you excel at those things, these isometrics are very important for that. We'll probably transition into some slow eccentrics specifically for the calf, but for the knee, the isometric is king, whether that is the quad extension or some variation of knee flexion like a squat or split squat, a lunge. Those isometrics, get used to it, folks. So they don't have to be that fun, but they are going to be so effective. Do not skip those just because it like doesn't feel like I'm getting anything done. It's not about progressing those either. You don't have to add 5 pounds every week like we're going to be doing in a lot of the other like barbell work and stuff like that. But you got to put in the time, right? It's got to be that 45 seconds, 45 seconds plus usually, but 45 seconds is the minimum. So just get used to it. Learn to love it. Learn to love that burn. Focus on good positions. Push hard, right? You got to push as hard as you can pretty much for those 45 seconds. It should be challenging. So isometrics, welcome to your new life. Get used to them. You are going to see the value from those. And if you don't do them, the likelihood of like tendon issues is going to increase. And I really want all of you to enjoy this program and to get something out of it and to not have to bail out on me when when those knees or those Achilles or something like that start to get sore. We're sharing a few workouts this training block. One of those this week is the 9-minute AMRAP of clean and jerks, bar facing burpees, echo bike, just good old fashioned work. And if you can't do power clean and jerks, if you don't know how to do those, just Russian kettlebell swings, right? It's just about moving some load, right? Mostly the hinging motion into the burpees. It's just work, right? It's just work. It's not easy. It's not supposed to be easy. And just dig in for that. And I've been doing some more kind of like simpler things like that, keeping the skill a little bit lower. And sometimes the higher the skill, you aren't able to push as hard. And so it's been really fun for me, testing this one out. I would have tested this one about 2 weeks ago, and it was a doozy. It was fun. It's exactly what it looks like. So dig into that, and I'm excited that both, if you're doing the athlete compete or you're doing propel athlete, I'm still getting used to the names, propel athlete or propel compete. Both of those are going to be doing that workout this week. With propel athlete, just in general, watch the videos for the movement demos. If you have to do the warm-ups, you want to just get going and you're going to, do a variation that you're familiar with, that's fine. But definitely for like the banded jumps, the depth drops, all of those things, I filmed a handful of them that I really wanted to make sure were done right. Found a few other YouTube videos that were perfectly suitable. But watch those videos and make sure you're doing these right. I'm really enjoying it. I'm really looking forward to seeing all of you tackle this first week of Propel Athlete. I've been working on it really hard, and I'm just really excited about it. It's been a lot of fun for me training in this way the last little while, and it's going to be really fun, doing these workouts again and hitting them with the crew, and just seeing everyone enjoy this and hopefully bring a fresh outlook onto their training. So I'm excited for it. As always, if you have any questions, the best place is right on Train Heroic in the chat there. That's where I am to answer questions. That way, it's easiest for me and for you, so you can just be on the app and live on the app. So that's it. Enjoy this week of training. Excited for, to build on some of these things. I'll get into that and it'll become obvious. Obviously, some of it's load, some of it's reps, and we'll see all that in week 2 for Propel Athlete and for Propel Competitor. This is already week 2. And so if you're still watching, we're going to be doing 5-week blocks for everything. So it's going to be 5-week blocks, a new 5-week block, a new 5-week block. This is the one exception where Propel Competitor, they're in week 2 of a 5-week block. Propel Athlete is in week 1 of a 4-week block. Just the way that the launch worked out, this was going to be a 5-week block for Propel Athlete. We had to push it back 1 week. But after this, you'll be doing 4 weeks of this program for Propel Athlete, and then it's smooth sailing 5 weeks forever and for always. At least that's the plan for the foreseeable future. So, all right, let's get into it. If you have any questions, Train Heroic. I'm so excited. Propel Athlete, it's here finally, and let's get training.